Hello, and welcome to 12 Steps of Building a Tutoring Session. Today we are going to talk about the 12 steps, which are greet students, identify task, break task down, identify thought process, set agenda, address task, student summarizes content, student summarize processes, confirmation, determine what comes next, arrange what comes next, and conclude the tutoring session. Step 1. Greet students. Be friendly and open-minded when you meet your tutee. The sweetest word anyone can hear is his or her own name, so remember your tutee's name, even if you need to use a mnemonic device to remember it. Make your student feel comfortable. They may be stressed. Step 2. Identify task. This one's simple. Just ask the student why they came in and what they want to work on. Step 3. Break task into different parts. Let the student take the lead so that they can gain independence. Ask guiding questions if need be in order to help the student break down the task. Once tasks are broken down, it will be easier to move to next steps. Step 4. Identify thought process. Discuss multiple methods and specific work that you have to do with the student. Is the goal to memorize, identify, or argue something? This conversation will teach the student how to evaluate their own thought process, and it will encourage independent thinking. Step 5. Set the agenda. Order tasks in a logical order, and write down tasks with the student. Creating a well-organized plan will make the most effective use of your time. Step 6. Address the task. Address the task and tackle the task. Create a dialogue with the student about the question they had at the beginning or issues you have noticed with his or her work during the session. Explain concepts at times, but also remain quiet in order to gauge the student's understanding. Both tutor and tutee should be asking and answering questions. Step 7. Student summarizes content. Have your student summarize the content you reviewed during the session. If the student forgets any information, ask open-ended questions to prompt him or her. Students should reflect on which tools they used and how those tools were valuable. Step 8. Student summarizes processes. Have the student summarize any underlying processes used. Encourage the student to internalize basic processes used to address problems that they had during the session. Step 9. Confirmation. Take time to wind down from the tutoring session. Summarize what has been accomplished. Ask the tutee if he or she has any questions. Provide positive reinforcement and critique work to give valuable insight. Step 10. Determine what comes next. Ask the student if they would like to schedule another tutoring session with you. While it is ultimately the student's decision to return to tutoring, use your insight as a student to assist the tutee in making his or her own decision. Step 11. Arrange what comes next. Coordinate a meeting time with the student and write it down. Ask the student to write down the meeting time as well. Set a goal for the student to complete by your next meeting. And finally, Step 12. Conclude. Talk about whether or not the student met their goal. If they haven't, explain why. End the tutoring session on a positive note. In conclusion, we advise you to print out or write down the steps for your first few sessions. This will help keep you on track. If you have a returning tutee, it is wise to prepare a tentative plan before the session even starts. Because you identified goals during the previous session, you know what topics you'll most likely be covering during the next one. There are a lot of steps to remember, but do not worry. As you continue to practice these steps, they will become natural.